Hello, everybody, and welcome to session number 25. This is the finale session, at least before the epilogue. So, once again, we are joined with our spin off cast. So, it's wonderful to see everybody back again, this time all together. The only person, unfortunately, who is not able to join us is Faith, aka Moxie, just because she basically informed me that unfortunately she has a lot of, parental family things on her plate. And because her life has just gotten really busy, life comes first, um, she's unable to participate in the campaign. But cross our fingers, we'll see her at least one more time during the epilogue, but we will see. However, she wishes everybody good luck and she hopes that everyone has a very fun session today. So if you're watching Faith, we miss you, we love you, and we hope that everything is going well with your family stuff. So, um, the warm up question today is, what is your fondest memory of this campaign, either in character or out of character?
In character, one of my Nora's fondest memories is the memory of just after the type sync ritual, where Remy was all better and they got to have like a heart-to-heart. It's like them getting to like be real with each other for a while. So that was sweet and but also a little bit sad. Out of character, one of my favorite moments is when Baby was showing off his little aura abilities in the kitchen, and yeah, him and Noir got to connect over that, so that was sweet.
Out of character, because I'm going to steal Bella's idea about doing both, it's not exactly one moment, but just getting to be with everyone on Discord, getting to hang out with everybody, getting to chat every day. And we are a chatty bunch. Wake up, 100 plus messages. Oh, okay, what did I miss? Okay, I gotta share that with later. Oh, that's hilarious. Okay, I've got to comment on that. You guys have been awesome and the best part of the experience. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, now for character stuff. Lux, it would be the right after the contest where it was the Chase Lux conversation. It was just, this is the relationship. These are the brothers. This is how they have bonded and how they work together. It was such a great moment because it crystallized, okay, that's the character. Tiffany. It was the conversation with U when they came back from Castelia. I'm close. I come into this not knowing Pokemon, everyone. It shows. And Tiffany U sitting there and we're going into danger. I don't want to take you into danger, but I can't really exclude you. You are part of my life, and you just having the reaction he had with, are people gonna get hurt? Yeah, there's a chance of it. Okay, I'm okay with this. I'm with you. That was amazing. Thank you, Roma. You have been awesome.
Yeah, kind of a mini one out of character is just looking over here at the chat just now. Everyone wishing each other good luck in different languages. I love that. I love what an international group we have here, and I'm just that was really that just warms my heart. It really does. For my in character one, I'm gonna have to say for Molly, I would have to say the moment last session when she looked at the dead bodies of two enemies, and she was not bothered by the blood anymore. Like she's overcome her fear. I'm really I feel really proud of Molly's growth as a character, especially in the last few sessions with her having to give up a lot and then having to overcome some things. Overall, I'm just really, really proud of her. And as for you, I'm gonna have to say his conversation in the tunnel with Tiffany. I would have to say that was a really good one. I got having Lux there basically as a translator and able to say what he really wanted to say to Tiffany for quite a long time. That I really liked that moment also.
I think with Chase, it was a mix of two scenes that I thought sort of defined what the character was going to be. The very first scene, I would say the one with the sandbox, the one with the drawing, the spirals, the sand, the hourglass. A lot of symbols, I guess, were set up in that very first episode that I think had a big effect on just the ideas that were driving Chase, because he's not driven by, the mundane things. He's driven by, the symbols. And the fact that they repeated through the campaign, I think that was, in some cases accidental, but I thought that it's just the memories of how some of the pieces came together. I think about that stuff almost every day. Because I'm trying to connect the symbols and try to make some logic of it so that it makes sense for the character. And then I think the Dragon Age, that Dragon Age episode in the Fade in particular, I think that's when it actually settled in for me, of what the ending was going to be for Chase, and how this would all be brought together. And I think for Remy, it was the scene with Bullet, one of the recent scenes where I think I really found the character when I started to he started to be driven by the fact that it was TV and listening to role players play their characters. That's what he thinks logic is. That's what facts are for him about what it is to be a hero and an adventurer. So the idea that it's an act, I thought that I wish I would have done that a lot sooner, but it's just that these things develop over time with these campaigns. So that's going to be a lasting memory too.
Out of character for Annie's storyline in particular, my favorite part was actually the origin stories we did on session 0, mostly because that was sort of where my concept of her, I saw a new perspective on her concept, and I looked at sort of specifically how I unfortunately kind of underestimated Vivian's effect on her at first, but then after actually going through it, I was like, crap, this should really be looked at more seriously and with a lot more consideration. And from that, I kind of absorbed it and refocused her character so much around that and how that would have affected her, and how I really learned that the beginning concept does not always survive actually being put into a campaign. And I thought, and that was really impactful for not only the campaign but also myself. Out of session wise, my favorite part was more just getting to know people and collaborating with people, and just sort of getting a better friend group that I had before, especially during this sort of transitional part of my life. And me going off to college and doing into my first foray as an adult, and it was good to have this sort of support there. So
my in-character favorite moment was when Steven found out about that Alicia had someone she liked, because I really thought Steven would really want her to be happy and not really have a good life. So he was really happy when he heard that Alicia had someone. So that, I think, was my favorite moment for Steven. But for me, it was a very thing that I get to be in this game. The video that you, made that let know that we could be in the game. I was so happy and got everything started to cry. I knew this would happen, but I was just really happy to be part of this.
Oh, Roddick, you're super sweet. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for that. No, I'm so happy. I was so happy to have the four of you, Faith included, in the campaign, and I thought that your character, me at least, my opinion was, I thought your characters added to the story very well, and I felt that your plot lines fit well with the main casts. But again, I'm partial, so.
So I think with Bullet, I'm a little bit torn, so I'll just say that too. Like, so the Bullet Remy scenes near the end, yeah, were definitely fun.
The belay and Remy scenes.
Yeah, yes, Bullet.
Belay.
Those were enjoyable because yeah, just I got to be like the naive character that I, built him up to be, and he had like support in what he was doing. It was kind of fun. But then tied to that too, like I feel you can't forget that Bullet and Ew scene. When we were exploring Ew, not being able to remember names, and Bullet tried to help with that, didn't work out too well. But just while Molly's doing her own thing in the background, they're having their own little conversation, and it was just amusing to me. And so then I guess with Cassie, I think one of my favorite scenes was the flashback of her and her dad, because one, I thought it went well. Two, even though we hadn't really talked about anything, you played him quite how I imagined him to be, with what his opinions and beliefs were and everything. And I enjoyed the relationship that was established with that. And it's just such a her dad was always such a core part of her backstory and her motivations and everything, that the fact that it went that well and it did set up those things, it had an effect on the rest of the campaign. So definitely a good memorable moment for me.
I guess my favorite out of character moment has to be the whole character creation process. I guess it's more like the character development that Charlie went through, all the scenes one-on-one with Quirky and that scene with Anthony during our guest spot campaign session. It was like, it made me feel like I actually made something good there, like good choices, and that Charlie's character would only keep growing from there. And I guess my favorite in-character moments, something that was impactful for Charlie, is probably the speed dating event, surprisingly. His meeting with Quirky or Annie.
The bend and snap.
The bend and snap.
Yes.
He was charmed. It works every time.
Can I add one?
Sure.
Yeah, and just an out of character kind of behind the scenes thing. Everyone collaborating together for that Christmas picture that we gave you.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yes.
That one.
That was so cool.
You should have seen me. First I'm sending friend requests to everyone, and then I said, okay, well, here's this. I was really happy with how it turned out, and everyone pitching in for their ideas. We had a separate message set up, which is now our Spectrum players private message.
We should probably invite Harkias to that.
Oh yeah.
Whatever. You guys can have your private thing if you'd like. So,
Yeah.
That was amazing. Yes, I have to agree. And major kudos to Brushman for drawing the image. But thank you again, guys, so much. I loved it.
And then the day when we were going to give it to you, and guests started arriving, but they were earlier than we had planned, and we didn't know that it was also a guest session.
Yeah,
So
that was a little.
internally, I'm freaking
here?
out. They're like, "Oh no, our cover's been blown."
Well, we knew about it, and I thought to myself, we should surprise them as well about it. We are coming.
That's hilarious.
You know them that we're coming to that session.
So we were surprised as well, and we're like, do we react to them being here?
I know, yeah. I didn't know if I should react because like Hark didn't seem surprised, and so
I wasn't surprised. There was a leak. I knew about it all along.
I just wanted to add one more thing.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I noticed I didn't say anything about Fern. I noticed everyone else did things about their character, the human character in Pokemon. So I just wanted to add that one of my favorite moments, Fern, was when she took the lead in charming a certain spoiler person. That was funny. And on a more personal note, I was really happy about all in Discord, like all the support and stuff, like people showed each other, like when we had like hard times, everyone was always very willing to like open up to each other, and that led to me being more comfortable with opening up to new people. And yeah, that was really helpful because I had a lot of very hard times during the last year. So thank you all for that.
I'll give my favorites. And I'll give my favorites for each person. So I'm going to go down the row. Starting with Annie. Definitely by far, my favorite moment was when she stood up to her parents. Especially when she had that scene with her father during the Halloween session. That got really intense, and it's a tough scene to play out, because I think classically in most stories, especially family-based stories, you want to see the parents and the children come to an understanding. But the unfortunate reality is that doesn't always happen, and sometimes, there is the saying blood is thicker than water, but there's also the saying that family can come from anywhere, and you don't have to be related by blood to find family. So I thought it was a really, really awesome scene. For Charlie, again, definitely an amazing, intense scene between Charlie and Anthony. Especially when Anthony was talking to Charlie about how he didn't respect him, but Charlie was able to earn his respect by the very end, which I thought was so well done on Kiwi's part. For Chase, I know that this is like a very, very immature thing, but it keeps being brought up so many times. It's definitely Kyle and his stick. That's the Kyle and stick stuff with Chase. I just can't. I don't know. That just I don't know. It just doesn't get old. It should get old, but it doesn't. Tiffany, I definitely, of course, found the entire Pokemon contest super fun. It was just very different. The session was completely different, and I felt that her character had a good chance to shine and show what she could do, and it really felt like she was in her element. For Molly, definitely the murder hobo Clefairy for me. The Clefairy scene plus the wedding was probably my favorite moment. Cassie, that one's tough because I think there's a lot going on with her character, but I don't know. I just really, the one that's stuck in my mind for Cassie was the little scene that she had with Annie Kearney when they were little kids. I don't know. That whole exchange between the 10 was just so adorable with the Riolu. So that was the thing that first that just immediately popped into my head. For Steven, the talk between Steven and Alicia at the very end, when Alicia sort of dropped the bomb, that was very intense. And then for Noir, again, there's so many to choose from, but the seance scene was what came up to my mind, because that was something I didn't plan at all. That was something that Ella asked me if you guys could do that, and I thought it was a fantastic idea, and I thought that in my head it was perfect timing, since I needed to get you guys to run into Giratina at some point, and that was the perfect excuse for Giratina to appear. So thank you, Ella, for that. Yes, played right into my hands. And then lastly, because I think I went through everybody who are here, for Moxie, definitely everything between Moxie and Madison is gold. Every single conversation that Moxie and Madison has is just hilarious, and I definitely again wish that Faith could join us today, but I love that. I loved it, absolutely. Out of character, my favorite was really just to see everybody across the board, just watching them grow from beginning to end. From the spin-off characters, I'm looking at Ronix and Kiwis and Quirkies and Faith's their audition videos. And you guys are so much different now, I think, than you were a year ago. Quirky and I think I mentioned that Quirky and Kiwi just auditioned for the next campaign, the Mass Effect Season 2 campaign. And again, comparing their auditions now to their audition from before is like night and day. You guys are clearly so much more confident from the camera. You guys feel more natural, I thought. I thought that you guys felt more natural. I felt that you guys were enjoying yourself more. You seemed far less nervous during the audition, and it's just so cool to watch that and to see you guys grow. So thank you. And then also for the main cast, just it's been an awesome year, and I have thoroughly enjoyed being able to form a friendship with the five of you. Many of you I already had existing friendships before, or at least had spoken to you before, but having a chance to actually bond with you and actually, being able to play because I mean, as a GM, I'm playing too. The campaign hasn't always been perfect. We definitely have had our, we've had our debates and other things, but I hope overall the experience has been very positive, and overall everyone's been able to get something out of it. So thank you guys for participating and for auditioning in the first place. So cool. All right, well, without further ado, let's get started. We will begin right where we left off with the main cast. So the main cast, we're left with a bit of a puzzle. And just to give the viewers some context, because there's been a lot of discussion in Discord, what were some of your ideas as to how you were supposed to figure out this puzzle? What were some of your initial ideas? Anyone from the main cast? The type, okay.
The plates.
City names. That was
City
my
names.
idea.
I thought that was really clever,
What was
by the way.
Hark wearing every episode?
What was Hark wearing every... Ooh, that would have been evil.
I
That would
know.
have been very evil.
And that's the first thing my mind went to.
I'm going to use that. I'm going to use that at some point.
Sorry, future
The
seasons.
Babanista.
Future seasons, watch out. Everyone in the future season is going to be like writing down notes. Hark was wearing this shirt.
Of course, the fashionista would see that.
True.
the types, the plates, and then some of us were thinking about the background information on the plates on Bulbapedia, the plate colors versus the background colors. Like that was insane.
Yeah.
What if we combine the type and the plate colors?
No, there was a distinct conversation too about like, let's not use meta to solve this puzzle because it's what our characters know, because Hark said you already have all the pieces. And so it's like, well, do the characters have all the pieces? Or
and then
because
I lost
players have all the
patience.
pieces.
I lost my patience and I said
Roma went mad.
And then I started thinking, okay, what colors were mentioned every episode? I know Tiffany named a lot of colors. Lux's eyes flashed red. She wore a gray dress. She wore a green dress.
I did inform the cast after the fact that the answer is actually a bit meta, and I try to avoid that as much as possible to avoid the whole meta thing, but I just couldn't help it this time, and because I couldn't think of any way in character you guys would directly be able to figure out the significance of the colors. So normally what I do in those situations is I'll say this is not the actual puzzle that happens in game, but it is a representation of what the puzzle is in game. Therefore, if you solve the representation, then your character solved their counterpart puzzle in game. But so interpret it however you will.
Exactly the way you presented it.
That seems like a good temptation.
Good. Chase didn't understand it when it was in character. You don't understand. Chase is good. As soon as you said there's a little meta behind it, I'm like, oh, okay.
Yes. Roma, can you share the story that you had with your fiance about colors?
Oh yeah, I actually went somewhat insane on Discord, like just overthinking everything about every single color, going in depth into every single city name from between Kanto and Johto, because I was convinced that was it. I was absolutely convinced. And then today I actually got into a bit of an argument with my fiance about colors, and it just she was saying, hey, this what color is this? And I said, that's orange. And she said, that's orange? No, this is orange. No. And then we just, I was like, it's all about perception.
Yes.
I was like, I cannot believe we just had a 20-minute long argument over this.
So what was the actual answer? What was the actual way of figuring out the color order?
The title cards.
The
At
title
least that is our guesses
Yes.
of this moment.
The title cards. So every single episode, I didn't know. Maybe people noticed, and it just kind of went by their head without any significance. But if you look at the intro to every single session, the session number that appears right after Lux and Chase walk away into the sunset always is a different color. And so the idea was you guys had to figure out what each color was in order in the title card, and that was the combination to unlock the cages. So,
Yeah.
what was the order that you came up with, that you all decided to come up with? What is the combo that you got?
Red, yellow, gold, indigo, green, white, black, violet, blue, hot pink, brown, chartreuse, orange, magenta, cyan, wenge, xanadu, pink, coquelicot, if that's how you pronounce it, falu, and silver as a bonus color.
Perfect. Perfect. You got it perfect. Good job, guys.
Nice to meet you guys.
Absolutely perfect.
Cool.
And for the
Yay.
people who are watching, you can actually see me going down the list. And every time I clicked on a color, like, Shay got it. So, very
Well, Tiffany's
good,
got a
guys.
lightning rod. She could take some of the electric damage, just in case we were wrong.
You should do that anyways, by the way. Tiffany holds the bars and powers up. Sorry. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
Hark.
this is a lot more subtle, and I didn't expect you guys to notice this at all. But there was a significance to the colors of the first several colors in the combination. There was a significance. I don't know if you've caught that significance.
What were the first few colors again?
Red, yellow, gold, indigo, green, white, black. Now I presume it has something to do with the doors, but I didn't go and validate anything.
It does. It has something to do with the choices that you made in session number one.
Right.
Because you chose the red towel, you chose the yellow towel, you chose gold, you chose all of those things. So the first several ones are representative of the colors that you, or the colors or the Pokemon games. Green represents emerald, basically, for example. In the
Which one's
order
indigo?
that the indigo, I think, so for Pokemon Moon, it was blue because Blue Moon, and then indigo I think is
X.
because I needed indigo for something, so I gave indigo to X, and then black is black.
Yeah.
So, and it's in the order that the games were released. And because I was originally going to do something with that, but then I was like, I'm just going to add more colors and then use it somehow in something, and that's
And
what
then
I
drove Rome insane.
and drove Roma insane.
Yes.
So, okay. Cool. So you will input said combination, and all of the cages will open.
Can I give an in-character attempt, an in-character
Yes.
scene
Yes.
for this?
Yes.
Chase?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Chase approaches the console after deliberating what this could mean, and he's about to give up, and he starts having he has a flash, like he almost starts to pass out, and he starts seeing a symbol just hover over the console, and it sort of turns at him and then blinks, and he hears a whisper in his head, and then another symbol comes up, and it's kind of wavering as if it's coming from some other plane, and he's like, this is I don't know it, this is unknown to me, I don't know how to solve this. And then he blinks and he sees a flash of white, and then he kind of sees himself walking down an alleyway as if he's transferring into another plane of existence. And then the white flash comes back too, and you can see words, and it's actually, they're all moving and they're all looking at him and they're all kind of whispering to him. And then he starts actually saying plane of ever-changing chaos, and he hits red. And then he looks at the symbols again, the wind swept depths, and he hits yellow. And then he looks at them again, planes of the infinite layers, and he hits gold. And then he goes down the line like this, and he says a bunch of just shenanigan words that don't make sense to anybody. And then he gets to the last one, and plane of concordant opposition, and he hits Falu. And then all the cages open.
I probably should also add that at some point, there's also a bit where Molly's like, no, that's orange. No, that's orange. And she just goes insane for a few
It's not.
few
I know
seconds.
colors better than anyone. That's coconut.
It's a city
Yeah, why
names.
you wouldn't know it.
It's based on the city names. It's got to be.
trying to shove James out of the way.
Oh, gee.
Does Kyle look like he recognizes the mighty Ina? Because Tiffany would be watching that.
I would say that he's staring at the Mightina and he's trying to figure out if he actually recognizes it or not. So I feel like he's unsure. He's unsure.
Okay. Tiffany lays her fingers through his. That's not you. You're here with me.
He nods and takes a deep breath, but he doesn't respond. And he gives your hand he clasps your hand and gives it a squeeze.
Molly will go to. She's just staring at everyone, and she goes up to Chase and she says, "What do you think? What should we do with them?"
I don't know, but they need to get out of here. We need to help them. This is all my fault.
That was 14 years ago, Ian. You couldn't have.
My name's not Ian.
Should I call you Cookies and Cream again?
Depends if you were calling Ian that or if you were calling Imp that.
Well, listen. the person you were before, that's not who you are now.
I still have to own up to all this. This only goes away when everyone is healed.
You're here. I know you're here to save people. We're gonna get them the help they need, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we're letting them out. We're taking them out of here.
What I was going to say is that while they're having that conversation, Tiffany will notice that there is a counter, like at the other side of the room, that contains a large set of Pokeballs. A large set of Pokeballs.
Goes over, starts picking them up, looks over the humans. Are they our balls?
The humans will nod quietly. The Pokemon and the humans are all like, they're not completely there. They're in a little bit of a haze. Not like they're high, but just they're not completely there at the moment.
Tiffany will collect the balls, go over to Molly, Cassie, Chase, Kyle. Okay, we're getting them out of here, right? 100%. There's no question here.
Of course.
No
Should.
question.
We have to.
Okay. I think probably the easiest thing would be get them into the balls. We find the teleporter. We get out of here.
Yeah, I think so. And from there, I don't know, maybe we should get them to a hospital or...
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Yeah. I think Alicia's going to get a lot more patience after all this
Yeah.
is done.
Looks to Kyle. I'm assuming there'd be some kind of asylum they could apply for.
We'll get them some help.
All right. Tiffany will go over to the humans. Hi, everyone. I'm Tiffany. We're going to get you out of here. We're going to get you some help, but first we need to put you into the balls, okay?
They notice you. They clearly understand what you're saying, and they look at the balls and they're like half nodding as if to say, "Oh, okay." Sure, lady.
Tiffany
Okay.
noticeably looks uncomfortable, and then we'll start trying to pop the right person into the right ball.
Noir, you're with Lux, and who else? Is there anyone else with you?
No, well, I don't know. Did Remy go down with the other people?
Yeah, Remy's probably with Noir up there, yeah.
Okay.
Lux
So
is still
it's
sitting in bloody rubble.
so it's Lux and Noir and Remy in that. Okay.
Yeah.
What's happening over there?
Noir's just sitting, staring at the bodies and the step, just sitting there with a very vacant look in her face. It's like looking at them, but maybe not looking at them, if that makes sense.
Okay. Does Lux or Remy react to that or say anything?
Lux looks up first from the bloody corpses of people he thinks might possibly have been his parents. Takes out the ice plate from the rubble, looks over to Noir. Humans were looking for these. Do you want this one?
She doesn't respond.
Lux will go over, dragging the ice and lightning plate with him. Looks up. Okay, I know why I'm not feeling great. What's wrong with you? One former weapon to another.
As you get closer, you kind of feel like Noir's like thoughts entering your mind. So it kind of lets you see what she's currently seeing, experiencing. You you can kind of see the bodies there, like all twisted and stuff. But you also see, like laid on top of that, like a sketchy TV, like different bodies laying there, and then flickers, and then you see bodies of a family, like made of stone. There's a stone Umbreon and a stone Espeon, and a father who, with his face, is kind of like sketched out, like it keeps like going into different faces, like it can't quite figure it out. And then you see Fabian, and they're kind of, the stone family's like huddling around Fabian, protecting him. And then you can also hear screams and stuff going in the distance, and there's ghostly figures that move around as if they seem to be ghostly figures, but they also seem to have like ghost Pokemon features, perhaps reminiscent of what you might imagine that the underworld would look like.
Okay, that's not good. Pretty Puppy, he's gonna switch over to Pokemon now. We gotta help your trainer.
Yeah, Remy is like circling the 2 dead Pokemon. I think this might be the first time he's seen dead things. So he's not distracted like Noir, but and he's not really in shock, but he's more confused and trying to figure out, like, this isn't like the movies, basically, is what he's whispering, and he nudges one with a nose, and he says, "Wake up," to one of the corpses.
Pretty Puppy? Oh, another one. Remy, they're dead. They're not gonna wake up.
I thought everybody woke up after they fell asleep.
That's not sleep,
I just
that's
wanted-
death. You've never seen someone die before?
Yeah, on TV, and then I see them in other movies.
That's fantasy, it's not real.
Well, in the fantasy games that I hear those people play, they always just they roll new characters. Can't we just re-roll these characters? And he tries to roll one over.
Lux noticeably looks uncomfortable at that. No, that's not how it works. I don't know what happens when we die. If our souls get reborn, if that's just it, we're gone. I don't know. He's gonna go.
He'll look at Noir then. He'll listen to Lux, and he'll step away and move towards Noir.
Remy will see the same thing as he gets closer.
You know this Pretty Puppy?
Do I know her in this state? Is that what you mean?
More at the vision she's been showing us. I'm guessing it's from her past.
I've never seen this vision, but I remember watching over her when she would have nightmares in the safe house, and not the safe house, in the place, the boarding house that she brought us to.
Mm.
But I've never seen any visions. It's a little bit scary.
Yeah, it is. Lux is going to reach up, start patting Nora's face, which unfortunately his hands are still bloody and covered in rubble. Come on. Focus. Be with me.
Touches in one's face. You kind of can see like Cam, like reach down, like in the vision of the family, and then a vision of standing with all these broken bodies of like random people. And each time, like Cam goes, "Hey, it's okay. I'm taking you away from this. Okay, it's gonna be all right." And then she kind of like then it flickers away, and she kind of sees Lux. She goes, "Oh, see, sorry."
Yeah, okay. You kind of went into your head and then started showing us what was in your head.
No, sorry.
Bound to happen.
Focusing on something else.
You've been through a lot. You both have. Oh, do you want the ice plate?
I don't know. Cassie's the one who wanted them, just give them to her, I guess.
I'm all of 8 inches. I plan on keeping this app plate, but yeah, if you could help carry, that'd be really helpful.
Yeah, just put it in my bag or something. I don't know.
Yeah, you're not in a good place. I hate asking, but I'm a paranoid little soul. Can you check in with your boss of dead things and make sure missing number actually died this time? Because you guys got a ball and you didn't use it, and I'm kind of confused by that.
Okay, I can try.
Thanks.
Remy backs away when Lux says, "Can you talk to your death god thing?" From Noir.
Make this quick. I'm sorry. Lord Garatina, Divine Majesty, sorry to intrude on you, but this prayer and this simply asking, did we do the job that we set out to do? Is the one who clung to a long dead world vanquish, truly? Amen.
You wait for a moment, and then you feel a chilly prickliness. Your hairs start to stick up, like start to stand on end. And I'm gonna say that if Remy and Lux, if you think that they might be able to get goosebumps, then they're getting goosebumps or something equivalent to goosebumps. And there's again, the chill in the air grows a little bit stronger. And then right before Noir's eyes, a large object materializes in her hand. It is a large, glowing, golden scythe. Now, for many people, scythes have this like macabre, like horror thing, like horror stigma attached to it. This is different. This is a golden, beautiful. If you weren't thinking about what scythes normally are associated with, you would think this was a gorgeous looking object, beautiful. And you will then see billowy, wispy looking entities rising up from the corpses. So there's an entity rising up from the Mega Evolved Lucario, the Mega Evolved Alakazam, and this big, weird looking, massive 1s and 0 wispy thing. And the voice in your head, it definitely sounds like this Pokemon is speaking in a ancient, very old Pokemon dialect, but you can understand it word for word.
Okay.
And only you can hear this. And this booming voice that only you can hear says, "Their fate is your choice, your decision. The object in your hand is the key to the realms. You decide where." The underworld is divided up into 3 main realms: the good place, the bad place, and the place in between. You can open a gate to send these souls wherever you wish, or refuse them to enter any of the gates at all, and punish them to wander aimlessly in this realm as ghosts. The choice is up to you.
Am I allowed to consult allies?
You may do whatever you believe is right.
Thank you, my lord.
The decision is yours at the end. Make the right choices.
No pressure.
The good place, the bad place, limbo, basically. Or neither, and you let them wander aimlessly as lost spirits.
Lux.
Yeah.
Where would you prefer that these two figures go? She wants to head towards the Mega Evolved one.
Figures. Looks confused and starts looking around the room. Because
The
only
Mega
Noir sees these
Evolved.
things.
I will say that Noir cannot. I'm sorry, Lux cannot. Noir is the only person who can see the spirits. She's the only one who can hear Giratina, but you can clearly see the golden scythe. That you can see.
Also, where did you get that? Summons Woodhammer.
Has
I mean,
given me
I can
this.
do this.
Yeah. Giratina has given me the responsibility of choosing where these spirits go.
Huh.
Where do you
Cool.
think?
Cool.
Yay! This is
Jesus influence.
great. Sarcastically, she says.
Giratina, bad place. It screwed up how many lives? I
Oh,
don't see
the
it
missing
confirming
no, you
Mercy.
mean?
Yeah. Sorry, out of character, wrong name.
Yeah. What do you know of the character of these two? She points at the bodies this time.
I don't know. Are they Pokemon souls or human souls? I mean, just because they're in Pokemon bodies, gestures to himself, doesn't mean Pokemon.
You can tell, again, because of your Noir is in. Noir can tell because of her new affinity to souls. She can tell these are Pokemon souls.
The Pokemon Soul Lux.
Okay. Can you talk to them at all?
Hello, souls. Can I speak to you? Can you speak in return?
You can sense them responding to you, and what you get from the Alakazam soul is anger, raging, vengeful anger. What you can sense from the Lucario soul is one of doubting, like wondering whether this was all worth it, wondering if this was the right or wrong path. It seems torn.
Okay. She looks at the Alakazam and goes, "Were you the one who stripped young Eum or Imp's memories? Did you do this with full knowledge of what would happen to those children?"
You sense prideful affirmation.
I know where I must sentence you. He points the scythe at the Lucario.
Questions? Can you ask them, please?
But she kind of goes like, "What is your?
Yeah.
Why do you have doubts?"
You're gonna ask why you have doubts?
Yes. What makes you doubt?
You feel a sense of maybe the reason they failed is because they were wrong. Maybe that's why they failed. But it's not sure.
And goes, "Perhaps you should think on it further." Lux, I think I know where these souls should go.
Okay, can you
But
ask me a few more
Alakazam.
questions first? Because I don't know if these two are my parents. That's why I was up here with the corpses.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Mega Lucario, Martin Ashton, or whatever your name is, and Sarah Bellin. Were you the parents of either William or Imp? Either of you.
You'll get a response of no.
It's a no, Lux. You do not
Okay.
need to worry. Your parents still exist in the world. These are not the souls that did it.
Okay, thank you. You do your job.
Yep, that's my job now.
The way
Good
this
first
works,
day.
Noir, you will again, with the knowledge that you matrix download into your head as soon as you received your Giratina powers or Giratina servant powers. A lot of happened spin-off characters. With the scythe, you can slash the air in front of you to the left. That opens a gate to the bad place. Slash to the right opens a gate to the good place. Slash down the middle opens a gate to the limbo place. And once you do a slash to a specific gate, you can point the scythe towards the creature or creatures. You can designate one individually to go into said gate. So basically you'll point to a character, point to a gate, point to another character, point to a gate. So you could even open, if you're trying to divide up a whole group of spirits, like amidst all three, you can open up all three gates and be like, you go there, you go there, you go there, you go there.
Yeah.
There's a lot of power in your hands right now.
Yeah. Noah's carefully considering his decision and then goes to the Lucario in front of the two other ones, like making sure they know. For your doubt in your decisions of your past, knowing what you did to those children was wrong, I shall send you to Limbo. Is that
Okay.
left or right? Yeah.
It's down the middle. Limbo's down the middle. You will open down the middle and you will see this gray portal open up. And you point to the Lucario, then you point to the portal, and you can see that our Lucario's spirit gets sucked into the gate. After that happens, the Giratina will say, "This is very important. Always, always, always close the gates afterwards."
Noah nods and closes the gate. It's like Noah then looks at the other two. Sarah Bellin, for your gracious crimes against both Pokemon and human souls, you will go to the bad place. And Missing No, for the defying the natural order and trying to impose your own version of the world upon this world. Your previous world had died. Instead of moving on, instead of trying to do something good, you went and disrupted the family of my dear friend Tiffany. You took her mother and made her do things she was not capable of doing. Then you took her father from her. And I don't know if the relationship issues that they had were your doing, or Lobel's, but you certainly had a part in that. You made her feel like if she lost her father, and I know that better than anyone else. For that, and for your crimes against Pokemon and humans, you shall go to the bad place. Cuts open the gate to the left.
This
And
big black murky gate appears.
he points at both of them to the gate. And then closes it after they go in.
As the raging soul gets sucked in, you start to sense the rage turns into slight fear as it goes into the darkness. Finally, the big swirling mass of ones and zeros will try to resist, but even death conquers this god. Even death will conquer this great, once all-encompassing figure, and it gets sucked into the black gate as it closes.
As it tries to resist, Noir will look at Missino and go, I do not trust you in this world in ghost form. You will try to make a comeback against all offers. So you're going in. Sorry.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye. You close the gate, and Noir, you pretty much can manifest the golden scythe at will. Manifest or put it away, and it'll just disappear if you want to unsummon it. Dismiss it.
Noir will make it disappear because she doesn't want open gates by accident.
Whoops!
Good point.
And she'll sit back down on the stairs and go, oh. Okay, I thought killing someone for the first time of my own volition was hard.
It's not easy, is it?
No more.
Being in charge of the underworld has its ups and downs. Every decision is extremely weighted. Choosing who goes where is a decision that one does not take lightly, but it is a burden that we all have to bear.
I didn't expect it to be unburdened, to not be a burden. Amen.
The cool temperature returns back to normal, and you no longer feel the presence of Giratina.
Okay, well, Noir is sitting there, looks over to Remy, nudge him. Go, comfort your human. She's freaking out. Help her. That's your job.
He actually freezes and he says, she's the slave of death.
She's still your Noir. Go
No, she's not.
be with her.
She's a different Noir now.
No, she's not. Just think in Pokemon terms. She evolved. That's all it is. Fern's still Fern, even though she has more tails and she's bigger.
But Fern is free. Cassie let her go.
As you guys are saying this, like, Noir's going, Remy, Giratina's gone. Are you okay?
Sorry, I saw for a moment Noir going, Remy, you're going to the bad place. Sorry.
Oh, God. Oh, Foundation's going to have to do that. Oh. Not the bad place.
Remy, don't make me put you in the
April
bad place.
Fool Day. That's a good one.
What? Remy, did you do this? Did you make this mess on the floor? Oh, you're going to the bad place.
Then an action title card pops up. Remy now. Electric guitars. No, okay, sorry.
No, she just spent time out.
You've got some explaining to do. Okay. Back to the scene.
Remy approaches.
Noir goes down and then he's in front of Remy and goes, so like looks over his wounds and he's like, okay, you're all right. He's gone now. You don't have to worry. I'm sorry.
Is Lux a translator? Can Lux be a translator? Okay.
Of course he can. He can do human now.
So yeah, I'm just going to talk normally and then we'll just assume. But things aren't normal anymore.
Were they normal to begin with?
They were when you were running away from being controlled by something else, and now here you are being controlled by a death god. I looked
When I
up
was
to you,
running
freedom.
away from being controlled by stuff, I was still being controlled. I was still part of a greater destiny that I didn't even know of. I was even being controlled by my own fears. And still, in a way, being controlled by him. At least this way, even if I'm under Caratina's control, at least I can still always be there for you and for Remy, for you, Remy, and for Fabian, and even if I die, I'll still be there for you. I won't abandon you.
He can take you away whenever he wants, though.
But I can always come back. I'm sorry, choices I had weren't exactly favorable. If I sacrificed Chase or if I had sacrificed Cam, I wouldn't be able to live with that. You'd lose me either way. At least this way I can come back. If I sacrifice another person's life for a crime I did, and I wouldn't, no matter how much I wanted to stay by your side, I just couldn't do that and live. I'm sorry, I'm not strong enough to do that. And if you had died during this battle, if anyone had died during this battle, and we needed that resurrection, I couldn't do it because I was short-sighted. I wouldn't be. That would be the most awful thing I could ever imagine. You wouldn't be able to live your life as you wanted. You'd just be gone. And that's not fair. You haven't gotten a chance to fully live your life yet. You're still so young.
Well, let's try to be as normal as possible while you're here.
Okay. If that's what you wish, we'll try.
It's what I wish. We don't need to evolve to be special.
You've always been special, Remy.
And he nuzzles up to her.
He pets his head. Being careful not to rustle the fur, just like fix out a few kinks from the battle.
Smooths out the armor.
And she looks at Lux and says, "Thank you for allowing us to have this conversation.
No problem.
Sorry about making you think for a moment that your parents were dead. I'm so sorry for that."
It's fine. It's not fine, but it's my life, you know?
Well, maybe your parents are still out there.
Yeah, well, the humans have to be somewhere, right?
Yeah.
Speaking of, we should probably go find the group. Unless there's more you want to need to do here.
Well,
We should see what everyone else is up to, yeah.
yeah.